This bout is the Cage Warriors World Featherweight title. So representing Switzerland, he weighed in at 65 kilos and comes from the Schuto in Switzerland. Let's hear for Augusto Frota!
Okay, here we go, another Schuto veteran after we've seen Martin de Jong earlier on. But this time a guy fighting, Augusto Frota.
Yeah, he's coming via Switzerland, but he's actually way of Brazil. And he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt and a member of the Brazilian top team.
Superb. I mean, Brazilian top team, everybody knows them. Do you think being a BJJ black belt has the same sort of respect that it used to in MMA?
Not as it used to, because when MMA started off, nobody could deal with it. I think it's still a very accomplished achievement. It shows a lot of dedication to their art, and certainly is going to be no mug on the ground.
It's also worth noting this is the guy who beat Paul McVeigh in Paul McVeigh's last fight.
Yes.
And he's also got a loss to Kaoru Uno.
One of his students. Actually, one of Kaoru Uno's students.
Oh, right, okay.
In Kenji Osawa. Yeah, that would have been a nice pedigree to be in the cage with.
He certainly looked big at the weight.
Yeah, well, he's no bigger than me when I stood next to him. That weight.
He comes from the UK and fights out of Z Marcelo Brazilian top team. He has a fight record of 7 wins, 6 losses and 2 draws. Let's put your hands together for Danny Batten!
And speaking of you fighting and your fight weight, there was a lot of talk for you to fight Danny Batten some time ago. Great fighter, good record, good solid UK fighter.
Yeah, he's a very good fighter. We're actually pretty good friends, and we plan to train together. So it would take quite a bit of money to get us to get it on. But anyway, apart from me, Danny he ended Emmanuel Fernandez's winning streak by submitting him, not just a decision, and he stopped in the second round with a triangle, one of Fernandez's trademark moves.
I think Fernandez's nickname's Pythagoras, isn't it?
Yeah, so that was pretty ironic, I thought.
Definitely. I mean, this is his second defence of the title.
Yeah, his last one, as you would have seen on the last on his last fight on Strike Force when he fought Tom Ninamaki. Yep. The DVD's available, so you can make up your own mind. But people are saying it's a possibly controversial decision.
Well, I was cage side at that fight, and I don't think it was. I think Danny Batten deserves a win there.
Fair enough. Every time coming out of the gorilla room,
I suppose it's the right thing to do. You come out when you're ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Danny Batten!
Danny proudly displaying his belts.
They are wonderful belts, actually.
Yeah, made by factories in Birmingham. They've been made up for this show. I think the Strike Force has really taken off, and the belts is just one aspect of the upgrades that they've been making.
I think the title's the important thing, but you know, as a fighter, to actually get a belt and a decent, high-quality belt is just puts the icing on the cake for you when you've won that title. So
yeah, I mean, it's always nice to have a nice belt over your fireplace rather than a piece of rag that you stick in the back of the cupboard.
This fight is for the featherweight world title fight, consisting of 5 5-minute rounds.
So, any predictions for this fight?
I'm guessing it's going to go to the ground.
Both these guys are strong grapplers, but that may change their strategy. Maybe neither of them will want to go to the other guy's strong area.
I think if one of the fighters wants to stand up, it'll probably be Danny Batten.
He's got a good Thai boxing background.
Yeah.
But Frota's very explosive, and he's got some nice punches.
This is a long fight. I don't think either fight can afford to take on any risk straight away. So
yeah,
hopefully, grappling background will take the time to come out, feel out their opponent, and work on a strategy that's going to get them the title.
It's worth noting that we've never, ever seen Danny Batten run out of gas. Ever.
Personally, I think that's the most important thing for a fight. If you can train one thing for a fight, make sure you're fit.
Yeah, you need good conditioning, especially for these 5-rounders.
Nice kick there from Danny. They do appear to be feeling themselves out a little. Kick,
I guess not.
As soon as I say that, in goes Frota with a flurry of punches and straight to the ground.
That's quite a burst of energy, though.
Yeah, he's got the fight down to the ground, but straight into the guard. To me, it seems like you should be trying to get the guy down and get straight into a decent position rather than have to fight past guard.
Definitely, because if you've used all that energy to score your strikes and your takedowns, then you've got to start fighting off submissions. It's going to be tiring. I think we've seen that so far that the champions have been holding on to their titles in the first couple of fights, and I think they know how to pace themselves for these 5-rounders.
Exactly. There's no replacement for experience, and obviously the title holders are the guys who've got experience. They're switching there nicely, trying to get a knee bar and a leg lock.
It looked like a sweep attempt at first, but Frota and his jiu-jitsu background.
Oh, beautiful right hand from Frota.
That was great.
Whipped it right across, and he's flurrying like crazy.
He almost got caught in an armbar there. Overzealous, possibly. Nice guillotine attempt.
Yeah, if we can get it back to guard so it can see what improv was, but I'd be surprised if Danny gets caught with something like a guillotine.
Well, against a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, if anyone can make it work.
Yeah, I suppose you're right, but he's in mount position now. Very difficult to sing choking from there.
So far, it's all been Frota. Do you think Danny is pacing himself?
My gut feeling is, yeah, I don't think Danny's going to let himself get brought into an all-out war this early. He knows it's a 5-round fight. He's been there before. I'm sure he's ready for the full 5 rounds.
He got the sweep, but Frota recovered very quickly.
Yeah. Two shots from below. I don't think they do too much damage, but they can be a little off-putting.
I think Danny needs to get Frota off his ankles. Anytime anyone grabs anything, I think you should never let them keep a hold of it.
I agree. Somebody's grabbing hold of your ankle for a reason.
Yeah.
Frota's definitely landing the strikes from both standing and also on the ground, so I would say he's eking the scores on the card. Yeah,
so far I think there's no question he's definitely winning this fight. Went for a quick anaconda choke attempt, but obviously Danny was too savvy for that.
And Frota seems to be in charge most of the time, although Danny is trying to go for the submissions.
Well, that's what he did against Fernandez. He was getting positionally dominated, get taken down at will, but he kept throwing submission after submission after submission. Some of them were getting tighter and tighter. He eventually caught the triangle in the second round.
Frota's got some great shots from there, though. He's really looping them in.
He looks very, very strong at the weight, as you mentioned earlier.
I think Danny's weathering the storm very well, though. None of these shots appear to have dazed him so far, and that's quite surprising considering the power that looks to be behind him.
Well, Danny hasn't been stopped in a long, long time. If I can remember correctly, the last time he got finished was in ZST in Japan, quite a few years ago. So, although he does take a lot of beating, he weathers it well. It's part of his trademark, really.
Yeah. He's a good tough fighter, definitely one of the toughest in the UK. I'd like to see him perhaps get to his feet. He's got some space there. I don't particularly like fighters fighting from the back. It seems to be working okay for him,
but yeah, I agree. I think you're too vulnerable to being hit.
Yeah.
The shots hurt a lot more when you're at the bottom.
I think the other danger as well is that, depending on the backgrounds of the referees, they can see that as a weaker position. It might not be, but they can see it that way because the person on top appears to be in a controlling position.
Another notable win for Danny is John Kavanagh. He submitted John Kavanagh.
Another ex-opponent of yours, I believe.
yeah, I thought John Kavanagh as well.
I think submitting John Kavanagh is quite an achievement.
That is.
John's a superb grappler.
John is a very good grappler. I think his submissions is strength more than anything else, as opposed to his MMA competition. Danny took him down and tapped him with a Kimura.
Okay, so got Frota here, just basically pacing. He looks well, and it's the end of the round. I've got to give Frota that round, to be honest. He did a lot more
definitely.
work.
Danny was very defensive. He's going to have to switch this around. It's all well and good planning and going the distance, but you've got to win at the end of the day.
Well, you've got to make it to the end of the fight as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the other question is, Frota's breathing very heavily there.
He worked hard.
Is that going to have an effect later on in the fight?
I'm sure he knew that he was going to be fighting 5 rounds though. So I would have assumed that he trained for it. He's not inexperienced.
I'm sure no fight is turning up to the event not knowing that they're going to be fighting 5-5. It's a long time though, 25-minute round.
It's a long time.
25 minutes over 5 rounds.
It's hard to sprint for 25 minutes. But although Frota did win that round, and in my opinion quite convincingly, it took a lot of effort to do so.
Yeah. I mean, Danny's breathing quite heavy, but I think he looks less tired than Augusto does.
Well, at the risk of possibly sounding insulting, he didn't really do much that round to expend any energy.
Yeah. There we go, second round. Also, Mark Goddard's done a great job so far of refereeing. You've almost not seen him, which is a sign of a good ref. Okay, let's see where we go here. It's a great low kick. You can hear that across the arena.
That cracked out, didn't it? Frota looks more tired now than he did at the end of the last round.
Yeah.
Hands are low. Maybe he's drawing Danny in. He's backing off. He's on the back foot.
He definitely looks tired. If you look at his feet, he's on his heels.
He's very flat-footed.
Yeah. With the low kick attempt, half blocked by Frota. Oh, some great strikes. I mean, Frota's shots are more looping there as well. His counter shots then didn't seem to have the pep on him that he did in the first round.
I find it difficult to believe though that he got tired after 1 round.
He worked hard.
It was a hard round, but I think he's probably trying to lure Danny in. A bit of the older rope-a-dope tactic.
Danny's landing some great low kicks, some great long shots. Clearly his strategy this round is to come out and pick Frota off from the distance. He's trying not to engage to go to the ground.
Well, I think Danny does have some very good strikes. I think he came from a striking background originally.
His low kicks certainly seem to have a bit of power in them. Frota looking to reel in some heavy shots.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to catch a cage world champion with shots like that, throwing those big looping overhands.
And Danny's turned Frota back to the cage, so keeping some pressure on there. Is he looking to separate or get underhooks? He's got his underhooks there.
Do you think now they've got the underhooks he should go for the takedown, or do you think he's better off separating?
I think he could do with a round of being on top. He was getting a lot of points racked up through the striking, but no harm getting the takedown and getting a few strikes on. If you're on top, you can get up when you want anyway, really.
It's worth thinking though that he was winning in the stand-up range. Why fix something if it's not broken?
Yeah. Well, I think you're probably right. He scored a couple of moves. I think it possibly would be worth trying to disengage here and go back to the striking.
A small little detail worth mentioning was that Danny was using a jiu-jitsu grip there, whereas Frota was using a wrestling grip. And I think the wrestling grip would be stronger.
Danny's got the takedown there, but it looks a little like Frota was quite happy to drop into there.
I'm sure Danny can break his clinch.
He needs to, because this is...
it's not going to go anywhere like this.
And there's little choppy shots to the head of doing 0 damage. It's probably worthwhile than not doing them at all and saving the energy.
Yeah, if anything, Frota's happy to take them while he rests.
The ref's going to be looking at this pretty close. There's not a lot happening.
I think Frota needs to start working something. He's got his butterfly guard. He needs to use the sweeps that are available.
Yeah, Danny's trying to get himself some space.
I think if you want to rest, what he should be looking to do is work hard to get a dominant position where he can rest.
Yeah. And back to the feet.
using butterfly cuts, stand back cuts while using one foot.
Okay, so Danny's keeping that pressure on against the fence. He's chopping in some knees. I don't think they're doing a lot of damage, but it's keeping him active. What do you think he should be doing from here now?
Either get a takedown or separate, but he needs to determine which range he's fighting. Being against the fence is just going to be boring.
Trying to read that leg out.
He's looking for the takedown, but it's not a committed attempt.
I'd be very surprised if a simple leg read like that would get Frota down. And I think Mark's done exactly the right thing there and split him up. Let's see some action now. And Danny needs to go back to those strikes. He's having some good success with them.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any problems for Danny. He's got some very nice striking.
Great low kick again. He does whip that low kick in with a fair bit of force.
Yep. With Frota, although it's quick and explosive, it's only ever in the overhand right, isn't it? Or overhand left.
And a low kick's an interesting weapon. It's not designed to do the damage now. It's designed to do the damage later on in the fight. So you should wear your opponent down. Weapon of attrition.
And over 25 minutes, it's definitely going to make an effect.
If he lands enough of those now, fourth round, Frota shouldn't be able to put any weight on that leg. And Frota looks really tired. His strikes back are really laboured. End of that round. Would he give it Danny?
Yeah, I think so.
That's one round apiece.
Yep, that's what I'd call it.
I think with that work as well, Danny's looking a little bit more tired now, but still no more than I would expect.
Well, as we said earlier, he doesn't get us. It's not going to happen. He won't get tired. How's your Brazilian doing?
Not good enough to know what it's saying. I've got one or two words, but none of them can be used in this particular situation. What do you expect from this third round then? More of the same, or?
Yeah, I would assume that Danny's going to start taking over. He looks definitely a lot fresher. He strikes a lot better.
Well, he doesn't really look tired at all though. He almost looks as though he's coming out for the first round.
Yep, but Frota is an experienced fighter, and he will probably change tactics. He might try. I imagine he'd try something different.
Well,
I guess not.
at the moment, it seems that he's just being under pressure here. And Danny's throwing some sharp strikes there. I think he should carry on doing the same thing and just beat Frota up over the round.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree.
That was a nice cut open there as well. And Mark stopping the fight. And probably got the doctors to have a quick look at that. And directing Danny back to a neutral corner by the looks of it.
It would be a shame if the fight was stopped in a cut after Danny was looking so dominant.
Yeah, I think so. I'm sure it won't have stopped if that puts him in a really bad position and causing any detriment to Frota at all.
Well, is it over the eye? You can't see the pelvis, right?
It looks fairly high up in the forehead, to be honest. I think it's right in the hairline there. I think it's probably unlikely that it'll stop the fight on there. The bleeding appears to have stopped.
They're going to vass it up there, Vaseline.
I'd be very surprised if this gets stopped now. I would think the paramedics will do their trick and they'll be straight back in.
Do you think this will give Frota a decent rest?
I think he needs it, but of course Danny gets the same rest. And Danny doesn't have to panic about bleeding.
No, but Danny looked like he was planning to win this fight on conditioning.
Okay.
And that could have evened it up.
Frota looks quite square on in his stance here, which is a typical sort of grappling stance.
Yeah, he might punch a lot, it's true.
And it does open you up with straight shots, such as what Danny's trying to throw there. With some great shots going in.
Very nice.
I think the right hand's doing a lot of damage, whereas Frota's punches are looping in, getting caught on Danny's guard.
What is very impressive is Batten's range. He's punching at a perfect range and he's landing punch after punch.
Frota initiating that clinch, which I think is probably the right thing for him to do.
So he needs to do something with it.
He's got to get the takedown. He's
not going to win on the feet.
There's no chance of winning on the feet unless he lands a very, very lucky shot. If he gets to the ground, at least he can take the time to rest, but also he can sink in them submissions. And going for the guillotine as well.
Yeah, it looks pretty tight. He's got. This is how he beat Paul McVeigh.
Yeah. It's quite a good place to put that submission on against the cage because